Chaos magic is about results. It's about using whatever works. It strips belief systems down to their tech. This can make some people nervous, especially when you start looking at traditions like Islam. People will tell you that you can't do that. They will say it's forbidden or haram. They will say you are not a Muslim, so you can't touch these tools. But magic has always existed at the edges. It thrives in the spaces between worlds and rules. Exploring Islamic magic as a chaos witch isn't about disrespect. It is about recognizing a powerful current of spiritual technology that has flowed for centuries, a deep well of knowledge that can inform and energize our own practices if we approach it with an open mind and a humble heart. This journey is not about pretending to be something you are not. You do not need to convert to Islam to appreciate its mystical dimensions. Think of it like, well, a musician studying a different genre. A rock guitarist can learn from flamenco. They don't have to become a flamenco player. They just see the beauty in the technique and they let it influence their own art. Islamic magical traditions offer a rich vocabulary of symbols, sounds, and states of being. For the chaos witch, this is a treasure trove. It's a new set of tools to add to your kit, a different lens through which to view the mechanics of reality and your own power to shape it. The key is to learn the language and respect its origins, not just grab what looks shiny. The line between religion and magic is often blurry. In many parts of the Muslim world, practices that a Westerner might call magic are simply part of life. They are ways of healing, protecting, and connecting with the divine. These traditions have their own internal logic and ethics. To engage with them means stepping outside of a purely secular, results-driven mindset. It requires you to consider the spirits, the saints, the angels, and the one God that form the foundation of this worldview. You are entering a living, breathing ecosystem of belief. It's not a dead language from a forgotten grimoire, it's a vibrant, ongoing conversation that you are asking to join. The first step is to listen and learn. Before you try to use a Quranic verse or a divine name, you have to understand its context. This is not about appropriation, but collaboration. You are collaborating with a tradition, with its history, and with the collective energy of millions who have used these tools before you. It is a path that demands patience and study. For the chaos magician used to creating their own systems from scratch, this can be a new challenge. It asks you to be a student first. The power you find here is not just something you invent, it's something you connect with, a powerful stream you can tap into if you learn how to navigate its currents respectfully. The Qur'an is the heart of Islam. It is considered the literal word of God. Using its verses in magic, therefore, is an act of immense power and responsibility. This isn't about cherry-picking phrases that sound cool. It's about understanding the meaning and the spiritual weight of the words. For example, the final 3 chapters of the Qur'an, Al-Ikhlas, Al-Falaq, and An-Nas, are known as Al-Muawwidatayn, the verses of refuge. They are traditionally recited for protection from all kinds of harm, both seen and unseen. You can write these verses on paper, dissolve the ink in water, and drink it for healing. Or you can recite them over yourself as a shield before a difficult encounter. Always treat the text with reverence. Magic squares, or wafq, are another cornerstone of Islamic magic. These are grids of numbers where the sum of each row, column, and diagonal is the same. Each square corresponds to a specific divine name, planetary influence, or intention. To create a simple talisman, you could make a 3x3 square associated with a particular goal. For instance, you could design a square that resonates with the divine name Al-Wadud, the loving one, to attract friendship or harmony. You would inscribe this square on a piece of paper or metal during an astrologically favorable time. The square isn't just a math puzzle, it's a cosmic diagram, a meeting point where divine energy patterns itself into a form you can use. Creating talismans involves more than just drawing a symbol. The process itself is a ritual. You might start with a specific intention, like protection during travel. You would then choose the right materials and the right time. The talisman could be inscribed with a Quranic verse, a divine name, or a magic square. As you create it, you focus your will and your energy into the object. Every line you draw, every word you write is an act of charging. The finished talisman becomes a battery of spiritual power, a focal point for the intention you have set. It's a physical anchor for a metaphysical reality, a piece of technology that works on the subtle planes. Another powerful tool is using the 99 names of Allah. Each name describes a different quality or attribute of God, like Ar-Razak, the provider, or Ash-Shafi, the healer. In spellwork, these names can be used to invoke specific kinds of energy. If you are creating a sigil for a new job, you might incorporate the name Ar-Razak into its design. You could chant the name as a mantra to charge the sigil. This isn't about commanding God, it's about aligning your own will with a specific divine attribute. You are asking for that quality, provision, healing, protection to manifest in your life. You are tuning your personal frequency to match a universal divine one. The concept of the evil eye is found across many cultures, but it has a special place in the Muslim world. The evil eye, or nazar, is the harm that can come from a glance of envy or admiration. It's a psychic attack, whether intentional or not, that can cause bad luck, illness, or misfortune. Protection against it is a daily practice for many. The most common defense is the Hamsa, also known as the Hand of Fatima. This hand-shaped amulet is a universal symbol of protection. It is often worn as jewelry or hung in homes and cars. The Hamsa pushes back against negative energy, acting as a spiritual shield that deflects the envious gaze and keeps the wearer safe from unseen harm. Beyond objects, there are practices that alter consciousness. They help you reach spiritual states where magic becomes, more fluid. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, offers powerful techniques for this. One is the use of music and chanting, known as qawwali or dhikr. The repetitive rhythms and devotional lyrics are designed to induce a state of ecstatic trance. In this state, the ego dissolves and you feel a profound connection to the divine. For a chaos witch, this is a method of gnosis. It's a way to bypass the conscious mind and access deeper levels of awareness where reality is more malleable and communication with spirits or archetypes becomes possible. Another famous Sufi practice is the whirling of the dervishes. This is not just a dance, it is a moving meditation, a physical prayer. The dervish spins with one hand pointed to the sky to receive divine grace and the other pointed to the earth to channel that grace to the world. The continuous spinning induces an altered state, a feeling of centeredness and cosmic connection. You don't have to become a formal Mevlevi dervish to learn from this. You can experiment with spinning in your own private rituals, use it as a way to raise energy, to lose yourself in the motion, and to find a point of perfect stillness in the center of the storm. Protecting yourself is not just about amulets, it's also about your own spiritual state. Strong personal boundaries and a grounded aura are your first line of defense. Practices like reciting protective verses, such as the throne verse, Ayat al-Kursi, can fortify your energy field. Think of it as psychic hygiene. Before and after any magical work, especially when dealing with unfamiliar energies, it is wise to perform a cleansing. This can be as simple as washing your hands and face with water while holding an intention of purification, a practice that mirrors the Islamic ritual of wudu, or ablution. Keeping your own spirit clean makes you a less inviting target for negative influences. When you start exploring these practices, you might encounter resistance. Some Muslims will be uncomfortable with the idea of magic or seer. They may see it as forbidden, dangerous, or heretical. They may also be wary of an outsider using their sacred traditions. Do not argue. Do not try to prove them wrong. Their perspective is valid within their own framework. The best response is humility and respect. Acknowledge their concern, thank them for their perspective, and continue your work privately. Your path is your own. You're not trying to convert anyone or change their beliefs. You are a quiet artist, not a loud missionary. This work is often best done in the shadows, away from judging eyes. Grounding is essential. When you work with powerful divine names and ancient rituals, you are plugging into a high-voltage current. It can be intoxicating and disorienting. You need to stay anchored to the earth. After a ritual involving chanting or trance, take time to return to your body. Eat a meal, walk barefoot on the grass. Do something mundane. This is not just about avoiding burnout, it's about integration. You need to bring the power you have touched back into your daily life in a balanced way. The goal is not to escape reality, but to enrich it. A good magician has their head in the heavens and their feet firmly on the ground. Approach this tradition as a guest, not a conqueror. You are an artist seeking to collaborate, not an outsider looking to steal. Read the stories of the prophets, the Sufi poets like Rumi and Hafiz, and the lives of the saints. Understand the culture from which these practices emerge. Learn a little of the language. This context is not extra fluff, it is part of the magic itself. The more you understand the heart of the tradition, the more deeply you can connect with its power. This is not about exoticism, it is about building a genuine relationship with a spiritual current that is much older and larger than you are. Humility is your greatest magical tool here. Ultimately, your practice is between you and the universe. Chaos magic teaches us that belief is a tool, and all systems are models of reality, not reality itself. But that doesn't give us a license to be careless or disrespectful. When we borrow from a living tradition, we have a duty to be ethical. Use these tools to build, to heal, and to protect. Use them to connect with the divine in a way that feels true to you. But always remember where they came from. Honor the source. Be grateful for the knowledge. Walk this path with a clean heart, an open mind, and a deep sense of reverence for the mysteries you are exploring.